Oh no. I'm dying. Oh, I was so close to dying there. What's up, y'all? Today I'm gonna be showing you how to make some... What? You again? Today I'm gonna be showing you how to make some god armor. If you don't know what god armor is, it is basically the strongest armor you could possibly get in vanilla Minecraft, and it looks something like this. You can kind of ignore my naming scheme here if you just look at the enchantments. This is basically what god armor is. I'm going to use my godly crocs as an example. On first glance it might look like just the normal, fully maxed out netherite boots, but on further inspection you'll realize that it has actually all 4 of the different types of protections. This includes the fire protection, projectile protection, blast protection, and regular protection. And this is also the same thing for all the other types of armors. If you're wondering why I'm making a tutorial on this subject, it's because it's literally impossible by any normal means to get these types of stats on any type of armor, because all of the different protections are mutually exclusive in any version after 1.14.2. Unless you follow this tutorial on how to glitch your way to getting god armor, which I'm using the word glitch here very loosely because technically it is a glitch because it is impossible to get these kinds of stats, but you can interpret it however you want. Some people might say it's cheating, but others might disagree. Personally, I don't think it's that bad, especially since you have some instances where people created a hardcore world, you know, before this change was made, and then they got the god armor, and then once they upgraded to the newer versions, they still had the god armor, but they kind of created it before the change, so you know, you could see it however you want. But yeah, let me stop talking nonsense and get right into the tutorial. Is what I would say, but first I have to give you a little bit of a warning. You see, getting this god armor is great and all, but you will sacrifice a few things. You see, I've been playing on this hardcore world off camera for quite a bit of time, and I've been very invested into this world. That is, until I decided to make this god armor. You see, in order to get the best armor in the game, you're going to have to convert your world, whatever version it may be, into a world where getting all 4 types of protections was still plausible. For me, I'm going to choose 1.14.2. And when you do convert your world, you're going to run the possibility, and by possibility I mean 100%, of your world being corrupted. Now, when I was making god armor for this world, it basically corrupted 2 different large portions of my world. My spawn chunks, and the place where I was at that time. Now don't worry though, all you have to do is make a backup of that world beforehand, and then if you ever regret making the god armor, you know, you can just go back into the world backup that you made. Now before you do all of the world converting stuff and the enchanting stuff, you're gonna need to gather up all the resources. And you're gonna need 3 things. You're gonna need 1 full set of diamond armor. Second, you need to get all of the different books. And when I mean all of the books, I mean all of the different enchantments that you intend on putting on all of this armor. And in order to do that, you're gonna have to... Honestly, that's probably the hardest part, trying to get all the enchantments, because those villagers just don't like to give you the enchantments that you're looking for when you need them. And the third thing you need after you spend hours trying to bargain with villagers is a good source of XP. One of the best farms for XP that is actually pretty easy to make is an Enderman farm, which is what I use to make my armor. I left a link in the description for how you can make one for yourself. After you get all the diamond armor, all the enchantments, and all the levels you need, that's where we can start building your god armor. Wait, no, making your god armor. My English is no good. Don't judge me. Now, because I don't want to mess up my hardcore world any more than it already is, I'm just going to do it on a creative world. But of course, you're going to be doing it on the world that you want the god armor in. Now, before you go converting your world to an older version, first you're going to have to combine all the different books beforehand. On screen right now, you should see the different enchantments that you should combine beforehand so that you don't run out of XP or something like that while you're midway through combining your armor pieces in a different version. After you combine all of these enchantments together, try and collect as much XP as you can. And by as much, I mean like a lot of XP. Because how this works is that wherever you are in your world when you are converting your world to an older version is where that corruption is going to happen to the generation. So ideally, you want to be as far away as possible from any builds you might have on your world in some remote location, because it would really suck to have half your house erased during this process. If you're wondering how much XP you're going to need, on screen right now you should see like a rough estimate of how much XP is going to take for each armor piece, and also how much XP it's going to take in total. Now those levels aren't going to be exact, as it is going to depend on what order you combine those books in, but those are the levels that it took me to make my god armor. And then after you grinded for all your levels and got all your enchantments already combined beforehand, it's time to go on an adventure. Now I recommend walking about 1,000 blocks away from any buildings that you have or plan on building. And after you find some remote location, that's when the fun begins. First things first, you're going to want to set your render distance to the lowest that it can be, which is 2 chunks. By setting your render distance as small as can be, it'll make it so that you are rendering as least amount of chunks as possible, so that you can prevent as least amount of corruption to your world. Next, you're going to want to leave your game, and then you're going to want to load up Minecraft in 1.14.2. If you haven't done already, make sure to make a backup of this world just in case if you regret doing this decision later. And then you can enter inside of that world. And as you can see, as I entered into this world, it'll look a bit different than what it looked like before, but it's okay, that's normal. If you end up in the middle of the ocean like me, try and look for some type of land so that you can work on, or you can bring some building blocks like me. I'm just going to make a little bit of a small platform. And then once you find your working platform, make sure to take the coordinates of where that platform is. You know, just take a few photos. And this is when we're going to start enchanting. Now on screen right now, you should see the different orders in which you should combine all the different enchantments. If you follow these orders, you should be able to prevent yourself from saying that cursed too expensive sign. Now don't worry if you run out of XP midway through. All you have to do is go back into the version that you had before. And once you're back onto your world in your original version, all you have to do is make your way back to your XP grinder, get all the levels that you need, and then come back into the exact spot where you last logged off. And then make sure again that your render distance is back to 2 chunks, and then convert back into a 1.14.2 version, and then you can keep on repeating the same process until you get all the different enchantments that you need. Finally, when you're done with all that, go back into your original version, come back into your world, and first things first, you might notice that, you know, part of your world is a bit corrupted. You can see that around my dirt island, the world generation is a bit messed up, but it shouldn't affect the entire world. You can see that this place right here and the rest of it is all completely fine because I had my render distance down to 2, so I didn't change all the chunks too much. As I said before, there are only 2 areas in which your world will be corrupted. The area around where you built your armor, and of course your spawn chunks, because the way spawn chunks works is that they are always loaded no matter what. So yeah, this is where my spawn chunks looks like now. If I slash kill myself, you'll see that my spawn chunks, this is exactly where my spawn chunks are, and you know, it's a bit different to say the least. So yeah, hopefully you weren't like me and had like 2 iron farms in your spawn chunks that were immediately deleted. But on the bright side, now you have the best enchants you could possibly get on a set of armor. And the last thing you need to do is get a smithing table and 4 netherite ingots and combine all of this into netherite armor. If you forgot to do so while making your armor, you can also rename it if you want, but it will cost a little bit more than normal. And then now, you're pretty much invincible. You could just kind of, you know, stand in fires and just take absolutely no damage at all. I can't die anymore. Even creepers, who do about 36.5 hearts of damage in hardcore mode, do absolutely nothing to you now. I am just way too powerful. Oh no. I'm dying. I am hurting so much right now. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I was so close to dying there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and also feel free to comment down below just, I don't know, just how OP this armor is, I guess. And yeah, I wish you good luck in whatever plans you have for the future in your hardcore survivor world, and, well, see you guys.